Speaking test instructions. The speaking test is 20 minutes. There are 8 tasks in the speaking test. Please try your best to answer all the questions.
Start speaking now. Time is up. 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 Start speaking now. Time is up.
Gregory. Discovering that someone else is receiving recognition for work you actually did creates an incredibly frustrating situation that absolutely deserves to be addressed. Nevertheless, how you handle this requires balancing legitimate self-advocacy with strategic thinking about outcomes and relationships. First and foremost, consider whether correcting this misattribution actually matters to you beyond the principle of the issue. Is this award significant for your reputation or career? Or is it primarily symbolic recognition that won't materially affect your life? Furthermore, evaluate the likelihood that speaking up will successfully result in proper attribution versus potentially creating conflict, damaging relationships, or making you appear petty to award organizers who may not have clear evidence about who actually did the work. Additionally, determine whether the person claiming credit made an honest mistake, is relying on secondhand information, or is deliberately misrepresenting their involvement, as this context significantly affects how you should respond. Moreover, consider that award committees often rely on nominations and testimonials that may contain inaccuracies, and politely providing factual correction might be received as helpful clarification rather than contentious dispute. Although staying quiet might feel like accepting injustice, sometimes the energy and potential relationship damage from fighting these battles exceeds the value of the recognition itself. Consequently, if you decide this award matters enough to address, I'd recommend first gathering documentation of your actual work, then approaching the situation strategically by contacting the award organizers privately with factual information rather than making public accusations. Additionally, you might reach out to people who directly witnessed your contributions and ask them to provide testimonials or clarifications to the award committee. Despite the temptation to publicly call out the misattribution, maintaining professional relationships while quietly correcting the record often produces better long-term outcomes than creating conflict over symbolic recognition. The key is making an intentional choice based on what actually matters to you rather than reacting emotionally to the injustice of the situation. 3 years ago, I faced a difficult ethical dilemma when I discovered that our company's established protocol for handling customer complaints was actually causing significant harm to vulnerable customers. Our official policy required strict documentation and escalation procedures that typically took 7 to 10 business days to resolve issues, regardless of urgency. Furthermore, we were explicitly instructed never to deviate from this protocol or make exceptions without supervisor approval, which could add several more days to the process. However, I received a call from an elderly customer who had been incorrectly charged over $800, causing her bank account to overdraft and preventing her from purchasing necessary medications. Additionally, she was in tears explaining that she lived on a fixed income and had no family support to help her through this crisis. Our protocol required her to submit written documentation, wait for internal review, and receive resolution through normal processing timelines. I knew that following the established rules meant this vulnerable person would suffer for over a week due to our company's error, potentially going without essential medication during that time. Moreover, I had the technical access and authority to immediately reverse the charge and credit her account. But doing so without following proper escalation procedures violated company policy. I had to decide between following the rules that protected the company legally and administratively, or breaking protocol to immediately help someone in genuine crisis. After wrestling with the decision, I chose to immediately credit the customer's account and reverse the incorrect charges. Then documented my actions and immediately informed my supervisor about what I had done and why. Additionally, I explained the specific circumstances and my reasoning, accepting that I might face disciplinary consequences for violating established procedures. Fortunately, my supervisor understood the situation and supported my decision, though she also reminded me about the importance of following protocols. The outcome led to positive changes. Our company revised policies to allow immediate resolution for cases involving genuine hardship or emergency circumstances. This experience taught me that sometimes doing the right thing requires accepting personal risk, and that rules, while generally important, should serve human well-being rather than becoming obstacles to ethical action when circumstances demand flexibility. This atmospheric illustration depicts a bustling pottery studio during an evening beginners workshop, where aspiring ceramicists are learning the ancient craft of hand-building and wheel-throwing techniques under expert guidance. The spacious workspace features concrete floors splattered with dried clay, wooden worktables covered with various projects in different stages of completion, and shelves displaying finished pieces glazed in vibrant colors. In the foreground, a concentrated woman in a clay-stained apron is seated at a pottery wheel, her hands carefully shaping a wobbling cylinder of wet clay while the instructor stands beside her, demonstrating proper hand positioning and pressure techniques. Meanwhile, her spinning wheel creates a mesmerizing circular motion as water drips from her fingers onto the rotating clay surface. On the left side of the scene, 3 students are working on hand-building projects at a shared table, using wooden rolling pins to flatten slabs of terracotta clay, wire cutting tools to trim edges, and textured stamps to create decorative patterns on their pieces. Additionally, a bearded man is carefully attaching a handle to a mug body, his tongue slightly protruding in concentration as he scores and slips the connection points. The background reveals industrial shelving units holding bags of powdered clay, plastic-wrapped works in progress waiting to dry, and a large kiln with its heavy door propped open, revealing the orange glow from recently fired pieces cooling inside. Furthermore, inspirational photographs of professional ceramic work are pinned to a bulletin board alongside the class schedule and safety reminders about proper studio etiquette. What makes this creative learning environment particularly enriching is how it connects modern practitioners with millennia-old traditions, offering therapeutic benefits through the tactile experience of working with earth materials while fostering artistic expression and providing practical skills that transform raw clay into functional art objects used in daily life. Initially, the ceramicist working at the pottery wheel will continue shaping her clay vessel with precise hand movements, whereas her instructor will offer gentle guidance on maintaining proper pressure and technique. Subsequently, students at the worktable will finish hand-building their pieces before carefully transferring them to drying racks, while simultaneously, others will apply finishing touches like handles or decorative elements to their creations. Meanwhile, the experienced potter will presumably demonstrate advanced techniques such as trimming or glazing, and consequently, novice students will gain valuable insights into professional ceramic artistry. Furthermore, as pieces reach appropriate dryness levels, they'll be loaded into the glowing kiln visible in the background for bisque firing. Despite the messy nature of working with wet clay, the studio maintains an organized and inspiring atmosphere. Nevertheless, participants wear aprons to protect their clothing from inevitable splatters. In addition, finished pottery displayed on shelves serves as motivation and reference for aspiring ceramicists. In conclusion, this productive pottery workshop will culminate with participants cleaning their workspaces and carefully storing their unfired pieces, eagerly anticipating the transformation that occurs during firing, thereby experiencing the complete creative journey from raw clay to functional art. Michael, I understand your preference for the cooking class workshop, but I believe the escape room challenge represents the better team building choice for our department. First and foremost, escape rooms are specifically designed to develop exactly the skills our team needs: collaborative problem solving, clear communication under pressure, strategic thinking, and leveraging diverse perspectives to overcome challenges. Furthermore, the structured 1-hour format makes the activity efficient and accessible, fitting easily into a workday without requiring extensive time commitment that might burden people with personal responsibilities or tight schedules. Additionally, escape rooms create natural opportunities for team members to discover hidden strengths in colleagues they might not normally work closely with, as different puzzle types appeal to different thinking styles and everyone can contribute meaningfully. Moreover, the shared challenge of working together under mild time pressure creates bonding experiences and memorable moments that people reference and laugh about long after the activity, strengthening team cohesion in ways that persist back in the workplace. Although some people might initially feel stressed by the concept, most escape rooms are designed to be fun rather than genuinely anxiety-inducing. And the experience of successfully collaborating often boosts confidence rather than creating lasting discomfort. Consequently, even team members who are hesitant beforehand typically report enjoying the experience once they're engaged in solving puzzles with supportive colleagues. Despite the small group size limitation, we can simply book multiple rooms simultaneously or run sessions in waves, ensuring everyone participates while maintaining the intimate group size that makes the activity effective. The volunteer day option, while meaningful, risks feeling like work rather than team building. And the cooking class, despite being enjoyable, involves significant downtime waiting for food to cook rather than active collaboration. Don't you think an activity specifically designed to build teamwork skills will be more effective than a social cooking experience? Michael, while I appreciate the team-building aspects of the escape room, I strongly believe the volunteer day together represents the most valuable and meaningful choice for our department. First and foremost, volunteering as a team creates purpose beyond just improving our own workplace dynamics. We'd be contributing tangibly to our community while building relationships, which adds depth and meaning that purely recreational activities cannot provide. Furthermore, research consistently shows that shared experiences of helping others create stronger bonds than entertainment-focused activities, as working together toward meaningful goals triggers deeper connection and sense of collective identity. Additionally, volunteer work allows team members to see each other in different contexts, revealing character, values, and work ethic in ways that artificial team-building exercises simply cannot replicate. Moreover, many employees, particularly younger workers, increasingly value companies and teams that demonstrate social responsibility and community engagement, making this activity attractive to staff who might feel cynical about traditional team-building approaches. Although physical labor might exclude some people with limitations, many volunteer organizations offer diverse tasks including administrative support, food preparation, organizing donations, or other activities that accommodate different physical capabilities. Consequently, we can select a volunteer opportunity with various role options, ensuring everyone can participate meaningfully regardless of physical constraints. Despite not being traditional fun, many participants report that meaningful volunteer experiences are more memorable and satisfying than entertainment activities, and the sense of having made a real difference together creates lasting positive feelings about the team. The escape room option, while collaborative, is ultimately just a game, And the cooking class, though enjoyable, is essentially a recreational activity that doesn't build the deeper sense of shared purpose that community service provides. Don't you think creating meaning while building our team is more valuable than just having fun together? James, I need to speak with you privately about something serious that has come to my attention. And I hope you'll be willing to have an honest conversation. First and foremost, I want to approach this directly but respectfully because I value our working relationship and I'm hoping there's an explanation I'm not aware of. Nevertheless, I've become aware that you've been presenting research and ideas that were actually developed by Alex as your own work. And this has contributed to management's positive evaluation of your performance. Furthermore, I know this because I've worked closely with Alex on these projects and witnessed their development of these specific concepts and research approaches that you've subsequently presented as your own contributions. Additionally, taking credit for others' work is not only unfair to Alex, who deserves recognition for their intellectual contributions, but it's also fundamentally dishonest and damages trust within our team. Moreover, management is making promotion and resource allocation decisions based on incomplete or inaccurate information about who actually contributed what, which affects fairness for everyone on the team. Although I understand that sometimes collaborative work can create confusion about attribution, this situation appears to involve deliberate misrepresentation rather than honest misunderstanding. Consequently, I'm asking you to correct the record with management by clarifying Alex's actual role in developing this work and ensuring they receive appropriate credit for their contributions. Additionally, I believe you need to commit to proper attribution going forward and perhaps examine why this pattern developed. Despite the awkwardness of this conversation, I'm giving you the opportunity to address this privately and make corrections voluntarily before this becomes a more formal issue involving management or HR. I hope you'll recognize that maintaining your professional integrity and team trust is more important than any short-term career advantage gained through misattribution. How do you want to handle correcting this situation? Hello, Sarah. I need to discuss something that's come to my attention regarding performance evaluations and attribution of work on our team. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that this is a sensitive issue and I've struggled with whether to bring this to your attention. Nevertheless, I believe you need to have accurate information about team contributions as you make promotion and resource decisions. Furthermore, I've discovered that James has been taking credit for research and ideas that were actually developed by Alex. And this misattribution has apparently influenced your positive assessment of James's performance. Additionally, I know this because I've worked directly with Alex on these projects and witnessed their development of the specific concepts and research approaches that James has subsequently presented as his own work in team meetings and reports. Moreover, while I recognize that Alex asked me not to report this situation due to fears about retaliation, I believe that allowing inaccurate information to influence important personnel decisions is unfair to everyone involved and undermines the integrity of our evaluation process. Although I understand this puts me in a difficult position regarding Alex's trust, consider that allowing this pattern to continue actually harms Alex more severely in the long run by denying them deserved recognition and opportunities while rewarding dishonest behavior. Consequently, I felt obligated to bring this to your attention so you can investigate appropriately and ensure that promotion decisions are based on accurate assessment of people's actual contributions. Additionally, I want to emphasize that Alex is a talented team member who has been producing excellent work without receiving appropriate recognition, and this situation likely affects their morale and sense of fairness within our organization. Despite Alex's request for silence, I believe the right thing is ensuring fairness and honesty in our workplace. Even when that creates personal discomfort for me. I hope you'll handle this investigation sensitively while protecting both Alex and me from any potential retaliation. Can we discuss how you plan to address this situation? Companies should be allowed to use AI for initial screening of job applications but should not rely exclusively on AI for hiring decisions without human oversight, as this approach balances efficiency benefits with important fairness and accuracy concerns. First and foremost, AI screening can process enormous volumes of applications quickly and identify qualified candidates that human reviewers might miss due to time constraints, fatigue, or unconscious bias, potentially expanding opportunity for overlooked candidates. Furthermore, when properly designed and monitored, AI systems can be programmed to ignore demographic information like names, ages, or addresses that might trigger human bias, focusing instead on objective qualifications and experience. Additionally, AI can help small companies without extensive HR resources compete for talent by efficiently managing application volumes that would otherwise be overwhelming. Moreover, the concern shouldn't be whether AI is used, but rather how it's designed, trained, monitored for bias, and integrated with human judgment in hiring processes. Nevertheless, AI hiring systems raise serious concerns about perpetuating existing biases, as algorithms trained on historical hiring data often replicate discriminatory patterns from past human decisions. Consequently, companies using AI screening must regularly audit their systems for bias, ensure transparency about how algorithms make decisions, and maintain meaningful human review of AI recommendations. Additionally, AI systems often struggle to evaluate non-traditional candidates whose qualifications don't match standard patterns. Career changers, people with employment gaps, or candidates with unusual but relevant experience, potentially disadvantaging exactly the diverse candidates that companies claim to seek. Some argue that AI is inherently more objective than humans, but this ignores that AI systems reflect the biases and assumptions of their training data and designers. Therefore, AI should serve as a tool that assists human decision-makers by efficiently identifying promising candidates and flagging potential concerns. But final hiring decisions should always involve human judgment that can consider context, evaluate soft skills, and ensure fairness in ways that current AI systems cannot reliably achieve. Mom, I just found the most wonderful bird feeder at Green Thumb Garden Center that would be absolutely perfect for your backyard. While shopping for plants with Helen, I came across this extraordinary handcrafted piece that's designed to look like a Victorian-style gazebo complete with ornate pillars, a peaked copper roof, and delicate lattice work around the sides. Instead of a typical platform feeder, this one features multiple feeding stations arranged around miniature balconies where different bird species can perch simultaneously without competing for space. What makes this truly exceptional is how the roof is made from genuine aged copper that's already developed this beautiful green patina, and it includes tiny stained glass panels between the pillars that create colorful light patterns when the sun shines through. Furthermore, the feeder has separate compartments for different seed types, allowing you to attract various bird species all at once. And there's even a small water basin integrated into the base for birds to drink and bathe. Not only is it completely functional with easy access panels for refilling and cleaning, but the craftsmanship is absolutely exquisite with hand-carved wooden details and weather-resistant finishes that will last for years. The garden center prohibits photography of their exclusive handcrafted items since these are made by local artisans who want to protect their original designs. Given your passion for birdwatching and how much time you spend maintaining your garden sanctuary, this Victorian gazebo bird feeder would become both a functional feeding station and a stunning focal point among your flower beds. Should I ask them to hold it for you?